So, hello everyone, and welcome to this last segment on sacred times and places in Sikhism. So, the last time we dealt with certain rites, certain rituals, like how they have their name ceremony, how they have the marriage, what is done for initiation into reading the Guru Granth Sahib, then about baptism into the Khalsa, what is the age of initiation, and also we saw their death and funeral rites. Today we come to sacred times and places. So now we see that in Sikhism, sacred times and sacred places are very important because we see that they have deep spiritual significance, and these help in order to guide the practice of prayer, meditation, and pilgrimage. Now, the focus on both time and place in Sikh practice emphasizes the importance of regular remembrance of God and reverence for historical events and sites that are tied to Sikh Gurus and history. So first we'll deal with the sacred times. So we have the Amrit Vela. So these basically refer to the early hours of dawn, that is before sunrise, and these are considered to be the most spiritually potent for prayer and meditation. Now, though Sikh scripture does not strictly prescribe this time for worship, it is widely regarded as an ideal time to engage with remembrance of God, what we call as Simran, as well as to recite hymns from Sikh scriptures. Or the Gurbani. Now, what is the spiritual significance? Why only the early hours of dawn? Well, we see that it is at this time, it is found that the mind is free from distractions. And thus, since the mind is free from distractions of daily life, it becomes easier to concentrate. Next, also, the quiet stillness allows for deeper contemplation, and this helps individuals in order to connect with the divine through reciting God's name, what we call as the Nam Japa. And by this, one aligns themselves with the core principle of Sikhism, that is the continuous remembrance of God. Now we also see that Sikhs often engage in reciting the Japji Sahib, a prayer composed by Guru Nanak during the Amrit Vela. So you also have the reciting of Japji Sahib, and we see that this practice is in a way believed to cleanse the soul and prepare the individual for the day that lies ahead of them. And this helps them to, in a way, spiritually strengthen themselves or spiritually fortify themselves against worldly distractions and moral challenges. And therefore we see that by reciting the name, especially during the early hours, when it is quiet, when it is quite peaceful, it helps them to, in a way, come into a deeper connect with the divine. Now let's go to the sacred places. So we have Gurudwaras as places of worship and pilgrimage. Now there is one thing that we need to understand, that Sikhism is less focused on physical pilgrimage compared to some other religions. But we see that certain Gurudwaras or Sikh temples have acquired special historical and spiritual significance. Now, why are these places sacred? It is because of their association with the lives and actions of the Sikh Gurus. Now, when it comes to the Gurudwaras, when we look at the historical significance, we see that these are in a way tied to significant events in Sikh history, especially related to Sikh Gurus. And as a result, they have become places for pilgrimage, or places where Sikhs in a way visit in order to help them in their prayer, help them in their whole quest of being in connect with the divine. Well, it is important to understand that Sikhs do not practice pilgrimage in the traditional Hindu sense, but we see that they visit these sites, okay, to allow them to connect with their religious heritage and also with the teachings of the Gurus. So we have the Golden Temple in Amritsar, that is the Har Mandir Sahib, and this is the most revered and holiest Gurudwara for Sikhs worldwide. So as we all know, it was constructed by Guru Arjan Dev, who was the 5th Sikh Guru, and this basically symbolizes both spiritual and temporal freedom. Now, when it comes to the symbolic importance, we see that the temple is a place where all Sikhs can come together in worship. And this also, in a way, reflects on the egalitarian principles of Sikhism, which basically, in a way, speak about open to all, equal opportunities to all. And therefore, we see that the surrounding pool, Sarovar, is believed to have healing properties. And therefore, pilgrims often take a bath in this water as a symbol of purification. Now, the golden dome that you have, it in a way represents the connection between the spirituality and the material world. So, the golden dome that is there here, as well as the surrounding architecture of the temple, this in a way represents both the connection between the spiritual and the temporal world, in a way blending the two into a harmonious whole. Next that we have is the Nankana Sahib, or which is also the birthplace of Guru Nanak. So this is located in modern day Pakistan, and it is one of the most important pilgrim sites for the Sikhs. Because this in a way marks the beginning of their religious history. So we see that many Sikhs visit the pilgrimage to honor Guru Nanak's legacy and also to reflect on his teachings of equality, truth, and devotion to God. Next, we take a look at the 5 Akal Takhts, or the thrones of authority. Now, these Akal Takhts are seats of Sikh religious authority. And it is here where you have the spiritual and temporal matters being addressed. Okay, so the spiritual and temporal matters which concern the Sikh community are addressed here. Now, these 5 thrones of authority hold special sanctity. And they are places where proclamations can be made to the entire Khalsa. Now, when we look at the Akal Takht in Amritsar, we see that it is the most important of the 5, and this was established by Guru Har Gobind, who was the 6th Sikh Guru, and this becomes a symbol of unity between spiritual and temporal authority. Now, the other Akal Takhts the remaining 4, they are located in Anandpur, then you have in Patiala, Patna and Nanded. So these places are particularly significant because they are associated with the 10th Guru, that is Guru Gobind Singh, who established the Khalsa and finalized the Sikh religious doctrine. So when we speak about Anandpur Sahib, it is the place where Guru Gobind Singh established the Khalsa in 1699, making it a key site for Sikh history. So Patna is the birthplace of Guru Gobind Singh, and Nanded Sahib is the place of his death, or where he passed away. Now we come to the first Sikh place of worship, that is Kartarpur. So the first Sikh place of worship was built by Guru Nanak. Now, it was initially called a Dharmasala, which means place of faith, similar to Hindu temples in its purpose. Now, over the course of time, Sikh places of worship became known as Gurudwaras that is do to the Guru. Now, what is the significance of Kartarpur? We see that this was the place where Guru Nanak spent the last years of his life. And it then became a place where Sikhs could pray, meditate, and serve the community. And therefore, the Gurdwara built there remains as a significant pilgrim site. For Sikhs today. And finally, we take a look at the moral philosophy of Sikhism. So we see that Sikhism is an ethical religion that is based on three fundamental concepts. Namely, you have work, worship, and charity. So it is well brought out through the slogan that is Kirt Karo Naam Japo and One Chako. So they are three guiding principles in life. And therefore we see that self-reliance is seen as the greatest obstacle to God realization. And this in a way is manifested through lust, anger, greed, and pride. Now, Guru Nanak in the Adi Granth 470 says that sweetness and humility are the essence of all virtues, and it is a householder that a Sikh should seek God realization. Therefore, in the Adi Granth 952, it is also written, the householder who gives all he can afford to charity is as pure as the water of the Ganges. God realization is easy through renunciation, but difficult and challenging while being actively involved in the world. Also, you have the Adi Granth 939, where Guru Nanak says, do not covet your neighbor's possessions. Without name, we cannot attain inner peace, nor still our inner hunger. We must be traders in truth, moderate in our eating and sleeping. This is true yogism. So in this way, there is this emphasis on virtues, on charity, as well as on, in a way, being in the search of truth and also practicing moderation. And therefore Guru Nanak strongly believed in the principle of non-violence. He interpreted Babur's invasion as God's chastisement. Later, Gurus also focused on social realities. It also forced them to take recourse to arms. So the 10th and the last Guru, Guru Gobind Singh, accepted the just war. When everything else fails, then the last resort, a Sikh should be the first one to draw a sword. So basically, when it comes to sword or war, it is only as a last resort when all other peaceful means are in a way not possible, or all the peaceful means have been tried. Now, the Sikh langar is always vegetarian. And there are various options about diet, but this, in a way, we see there is a strict adherence to langar. So also we see that they encourage that women should be respected, and also widow remarriages are encouraged. So Sangat is the democratic gathering, and langar we see is the eating together. And therefore the care of the needy and service to the poor is practiced in the community. So this brings us to the end of our course on Sikhism. So we have looked at various aspects of the religion and also seen the moral philosophy as such. So thank you for participating and watching, and do subscribe for more such content. Thank you.